Ladies and gentlemen, this is Toy Review 116 of Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise series of Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Now, why I say Deluxe Class Bumblebee? Because obviously this figure is supposed to be called Revealers, and unfortunately it's not shown anywhere on the packaging. Instead, all they slapped on the box itself was Deluxe Class, so that's what I'm going to call them. Deluxe, Voyagers, and Leaders. So, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. If something isn't broken, don't try and fix it, Hasbro. Don't change the name of something that's already cool. Leave it be. So, this figure is pretty much a cheap knockoff of the first edition. Well, actually, no, it's not even a knockoff of the first edition. It's its own character, but unfortunately, it's executed wrong. I mean, it is small. It is very small. So small that the first edition Bumblebee is laughing at it right now. I kid you not. Look at the size of my hand compared to this thing. It is tiny. How much smaller are these Transformer figures going to get and get more expensive in the process? $12.99 for something this small? You have got to be kidding me. But I had to have him. I had to review him. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you a quick size comparisons with the Superior Cliff Jumper and Wheeljack. Now, why do I say superior? Because obviously, if you look very carefully, these two have a better color scheme and better paint design than Bumblebee. While the black outline is nice, unfortunately, Wheeljack and Cliff Jumper got more paint, especially on the hubcaps. They got painted. I did not paint these myself. They were painted by Hasbro. Now, why is it that these two that are not as popular as Bumblebee, because Bumblebee has everything today. He's got video games, he's got a comic book, he's got a coloring book, he's got his face on lunch boxes, he's got them on book bags, he's got them on notepads, he's got them on everything. Everything of Transformers has Bumblebee somewhere, unlike Cliff Jumper and Wheeljack. Obviously, if it wasn't for Optimus Prime, if we exclude Optimus Prime, this is actually the mascot of Transformers right here. Bumblebee, because he's everywhere. So why in the world is Hasbro going to cheap out on their main selling toy instead of these two? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why is he lacking on paint while they actually got a nice shine of paint everywhere? I guess that's a story for another day. Hopefully somebody will ask Hasbro that at the next Toy Fair or Comic-Con this year. It would be nice to figure this one out. So, let's go ahead and just get to this figure, what it actually does in this mode. It just rolls, that's it. And besides that, it's got robot kibble. And besides that, it actually does have weapon storage, which it does come with 2 blasters, unlike the first edition, which is a lot better. Just peg it in right there. And there you go. Weapon storage. Nowhere else. No mech tech ports anywhere. Not even on the bottom. I tried pegging them into the arms at the bottom, but they just scrape along the floor. On the side, it looks ridiculous. But at the front, it actually looks pretty badass. I like that. It looks a hell of a lot better than the stupid gimmick for Armada Hotshot. It really does. So just get those out of the way. We're just going to go ahead and transform this figure. Bring it down, fold out the doors, and this is where it gets very boring. Seeing the fact that the legs are once again transformed into the back of the car. This is getting dull, this is getting old very quickly. It's boring. It's just boring now. So many Bumblebee figures are done like this now, and I'm just tired of it. Unpeg, fold down, split apart, fold that out, reposition the camera just a little bit, or better yet, just back it up and bring it up a little bit. Fold this back, fold this in, leave it like so for the moment. Go ahead and flip this out. Just go ahead and flip it out. Get it out of the way. And push Bumblebee back some more and flip up the camera some more. Wow. This is ridiculous. Now, here's the main reason why I said just go ahead and do that. That way, when you do the stupid automorph technology gimmick here, just plug that in like so. And reposition this like so. Make sure this peg and hole on the back peg in like so. Now he's down all the way. Make sure everything's adjusted, and yeah, there you go. There's his robot mode. Not much cartoon accuracy right here, folks. I mean, they tried for something that's pretty cheap, kinda, except we're paying a lot for these. I really don't like the way this figure is done, but I guess in order to save money, especially since I've paid a fortune over the past few weeks on some products, it will do. Even though I do want to get the first edition still, I guess this figure will do. He does have
light piping
weapon storage in robot mode, just like in the show. You know, just simply pick them onto the sides. Put them in the hands if you'd like. I mean, you can, but really, they belong on the sides. And it's nice he comes with 2 blasters instead of 1. That's the only problem with the first edition figure. That's the only thing that I actually like about this figure, really. The articulation is great on this figure. I really don't have to go through it because it's the simple, it's everywhere ball jointed thing. So the only real major problem here is the fact that these are at an angle, the shoulders. So you really can't get much out of them without getting them caught in place and knocking something out of place. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the mod. Except for one thing. I totally forgot to talk about this. He does have a nice amount of... So that's very nice. But other than that, let's just go ahead and talk about the modification I did that everybody else is doing on YouTube. Well, unlike everybody else, they're just shaving it down a little bit in order to actually get this to come down a lot better. I actually took the whole ratcheting joint out. I said, fuck it. It was just ruining the figure. I don't like the gimmick, so I took it out. So instead of having a ratcheting joint, now this whole entire engine right here just pegs right in, nice and tightly, very securely. And I also bent these up a little bit more, so when you push them in a little bit more, you'll hear them click. And when they do click, it locks the head right in place. That is very, very nice. I don't know if I'm the first one to do that. I'm sure somebody else has done it, but I have not seen any Bumblebee reviews in a while, so I really don't know for sure. But whatever. I mean, right now I can say I'm the one that did that, so whatever. Really, there's nothing else to talk about this figure except for his scale. Let's talk about it. Here's Robots in Disguise, Transformers Prime, Optimus Prime, and here's First Edition RC. Now, obviously, I'm just showing off Prime just because. I really don't have to explain that. But when it comes to First Edition compared to the Deluxes, what is going on here? $12.99 for these kind of figures, if they were to hit retailers, which they're not because they're canceled, compared to the actual release figures, $12.99? This should be $12.99. This is not $12.99. This is small. This isn't really even 5 inches anymore. This is actually 4.5. Their prices are getting higher. They're going skyrocketing on the prices, which Optimus Prime is $24.99, and he's a lot smaller than the first edition Optimus Prime, yet we're getting less. We're paying more, but we're getting less. How is that fair? I cannot blame the economy for this. I just can't. The transformation is fun. I'll give him that. I will give it that. It's not complicated like the first edition Bumblebee. It isn't. But the fact that we're not getting what our money is worth anymore these days really sucks. Hasbro is cheaping out on this. This is not fair. I cannot believe that we are falling into this. We are sinking into the hole of just bad after worse, and just by far worse when it comes to Hasbro's product. They are turning into Bandai. Or better yet, they are turning into Jazzwares. Or, no, well, no, quality's not an issue when it comes to them, so I really can't complain when it comes to that. So, let's just compare it. Alright, Hasbro is turning into Jakks Pacific. That is bad. That is very bad. They don't need to go to this point. They don't even need to trespass into that area. Don't do it, Hasbro. Do not do it. This is supposed to be a video review, but I can't help the fact that I'm complaining about this because if I didn't do it, I'm sure somebody else is doing it right now. This is ridiculous. Why are we paying more for so much less? It's just, I cannot blame the economy anymore. It's not the economy. Hasbro is doing something that they're trying to cheap out, they're trying to get our money, and they're not giving us what we deserve anymore. If that wasn't the case, then why did they cancel the first edition? Because they didn't sell well? I don't think so. I don't think so. You didn't even give them time to get to Walmart and Target. You just go with the usual Toys R Us stuff. You don't give it time. Next time, think before you do. Guys, I really cannot recommend this figure. I mean, he is lacking on a lot. And the proportions are just wrong on this figure. The articulation is decent. And the modding does make him look a lot better. But the fact that he's not painted and he just overall is just by far, it's just pales in comparisons to the first edition. There's nothing else about it. It sucks. This figure is atrocious. And I am going to do a lot more modding to this figure, and when I do, hopefully he will look a lot better, and hopefully I will do a video update like I did with Project Freedom Leader back and forth. Trust me, guys, if you're going to get this figure, you better think about it. Think about the consequences of what you're about to do. You're going to pay what you shouldn't pay for something that is so small, that it's getting close to G.I. Joe size. I kid you not. Don't do it, guys. Think about it first. Consider it, think about it, and make sure it's the one you want. If not, then just go for the first edition, okay? Just go ahead and pay the $59.99 on eBay and get the first edition. Save yourself the stress, save yourself the trouble, save yourself the modification. While it does work for the figure, overall, it's just, it doesn't work. It does not work. So that's it, guys. That is the end review of Transformers Prime, Robots in Disguise, sort of, Deluxe Class Bumblebee. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I will answer them when I have time. And until the next toy review, guys, which hopefully will be 115, this is Red is Power signing out. Thank you very much for watching this bad review. And, you know, I'll see you guys next time. Whew.